Welcome for the third time. Castile gives us an alliance offer. We're going to just accept it outright. At this point, money doesn't really matter. We're getting loads per turn anyway. Don't think the Ayyubids have any possible way of getting their vengeance on us for that victory. Think they are kind of depleted at this moment in time. As you can see, the Venetian army is still alive. Mamluk rebels all over the place in the empire, apparently. And if we do have enough strength, we can still technically go after Mersa Matruch, defeat its garrison, and then just win the battle that happens from there outright. And we do actually have enough strength. We can go after this army outside, but it retreats, and as an answer to that, we're going to begin running away, because we don't want to be stuck in enemy territory. As we saw, there is an army apparently going up. We're currently just building a second ducal palace, sorry, in was it in Iko? At Barca, I could build up the forge mill, but currently that is not viable for me to do. Well, it would give me a lot more money. Anyway, as we can see, someone's besieging Murcia. Granada, Cordoba, and Toledo have all been taken. Sicily is just going around killing off their enemies' ships in the area. The French own Montpellier. And the Ayyubids still do nothing to deal with us. So, while they do have an army moving up, we cannot really be sure that it's going to try and defeat us. We're going to move Augusto's army forward, retreat all the way around the city. We're going to move right through. We're just going to use the defensive stance. That we only lose 26 men. We're going to kill all the captives. And with that, we're going to enter Parca and then execute all deserters. Over here, we could possibly get some knights, but we're not going to. Well, it'd be nice. There is no point in sacrificing all the high level troops with all their stat bonuses. Meanwhile, this army under Ansaldo is preparing to join in on the campaign. As you can see, we can get some more dismounted and mounted Templar Knights, which is definitely going to be of use to us. We're going to have an extended front line for this army. It's going to be a mixed army, I think. I want it to be a mixed army. Just like this one is in the sense with the Templars, I want that to be a much more equal army. We're going to just immediately move this force down, and the minute we take the city of Mersa Matruch, we are going to raise a small force of just militias really, and have them sit there. Pietro has got another level up, and we're going to increase his authority. We're going to end the turn, and we learn that Augusto has currently got 4 stars, 4 levels, making him a pretty decent general. The French army moving into our waters, shockingly, and the armies of Provence seem to be moving over. There's another Venetian army over in Egypt to distract the Ayyubids. This is just glorious news, because this means the Ayyubid army might not try to attack us, although that army is sunk, sadly. We are going to have to wait a little bit. No other movements this turn. We still haven't seen the Sharifate of Mecca. The Reconquista has been completed, but my people favor has decreased even more, because I didn't I didn't spread my religion to the majority. But it was difficult to do that in the first place. Let's not forget, because people there did not take the wisdom. It's just some people never see that way. I am just going to keep sitting here with this army, preparing for the next move. Technically, I could convert to Eastern Christianity to not have to deal with people standing, but that would make me very unfavored in the Holy Roman Empire. I'm going to build this Prince Bishopric. And once again, Mersa Matruch is undefended, but once again we cannot move out because our army is a bit damaged. Looking at the diplomacy for us, there is basically nothing we can do. Everything that we might want, which is money, has already been siphoned. The Maronites have currently got trade with us. It seems like we still got Muslim trade going on between us and the Muslim factions. I checked if I could get peace with the Abbasids, but they would not accept. My courier over here, I think they're doing pretty well for themselves currently. The Ayyub is getting pretty small at this point. I think they've still got some land in Syria, although I cannot be sure. They have lost Jerusalem to the Kingdom of Jerusalem. In the city, now under their command, the blade of a man called Edward has appeared. All good. I could technically get rid of one of my units of Guelph Cav, but the Guelph Cav is really good currently. Apologies if you can hear a store in the background. I apologize greatly. This Guelph Cav is basically just as good, it's just that they have really excellent attack against Cav, but it doesn't show this here. I guess I must have been seeing things. Or it might have been the knights. And the knight units actually having a better armor stats in return for less melee damage. So I guess it's a balanced force, you could say, in a way. our other army very cavalry heavy, so after we get those few Templar Knights and Guelph cavalry and Salian Bruder, we are going to go over to Africa and finally do something. Genoa is well defending at this moment, but we're currently unable to do anything. Seems like Toulouse is back at war with France, and France has been diminished to just one province by the English. The English building our trade even further. Dauphin of Viennois, which is another vassal of the Holy Roman Empire, is currently not very happy about England and is at war with them actually, so that's an issue. Sadly, if we were to declare wars, the Holy Roman Empire would really hate us. Although they are unreliable, they would probably join a war against a state they probably see as minor. We could go to war with Sicily, but that would cut our African colony off. And Austria wants to expand the African colony, not doom it to failure. Barca is poorly defended. These Lancieri Contadini, or what I think to be the Italian militia spearmen, are the bulk of our force defending there, so yikes. The Pope seems to keep giving us random stupid quests to do with religion, which we just never hear about and cannot achieve due to that. Nicaea would give us a non-aggression pact, all in return for, and that would give us money just for the non-aggression. We are going to counteract this by asking for a marriage between our two states and just ripping them off. 8,000 gold flying into our treasury all of a sudden. Ibid forces all the way in place, just Attila, controlled by Cilicia, Armenia, out of all places. So yeah, Fernandino, our governor of Aiko, has died, but in return we do get a noble birth. So I guess one good, one bad. Sadly, there's going to be a rebellion going on in Genoa. We can't do anything about that. And as we start the recruitment. Now, you might see, we've got someone called Urbano. And then we've got Stefano. Both, one of them a merchant, one of them a soldier. And for the sake of it, we're going to choose Urbano to be the governor of the city of Genoa. And he's going to be boosting our trade pretty nicely. We're going to empower the local ruler in all these places. Sorry, not empower local ruler, we're going to instead construct railway houses, because that's how we do it. Or how we would have done it if we had the choice. We've already had that chosen. I'm actually going to return to this and just do it. Moving my main force here in Italy to Genoa to stop rebellion from occurring. And it just about does it. We can just get some crossbowmen here as well. And also get some of these communal spearmen. Ico is going to have public order issues, but not going to be an issue. For now, at least. The Spintelli Order Force would be pretty useful, as I do want to have access to mounted sergeants to have a cheaper equivalent of my knights. I'm also going to upgrade this cattle herd to a cowshed to get more money, and in Ico I'm going to once again construct railway houses, because it's all about the trade income that we get. Trade is what's going to be getting us all the money that we are getting right now. As you can see in the corner, Toulouse still besieging Montpellier. We might be able to get a trade going with them later. The voivodeship of Wallachia, all the way on the other side of Europe, basically from us, because we're in the west, they're all the way in the east in the Balkans, decide that they want a non-aggression pact with us, and what I'm going to say is money, and we're going to do it. They offer 300, but any money we can get, I'm going to take, because it's all about the cash money. Another Venetian army trying to get through the impenetrable Muslim blockade, and always failing. Military alliance from Savoy, and if they are going to be wanting to give us anything above 1,000, I'm going to just accept it, because, well, it will mean tons of cash. Ico can get a few upgrades today. A ducal palace for it, finally. Over here we've only got a total sanitation of -1, so it's not really absolutely terrible, or non-fixable at least. We're going to get a port, and maybe now send Augusto to take the city of Mersa. He's basically ready. And if we can take the city, the many issues that we have currently financially can be fixed. Well, not really financially, it's militarily. I apologize for that mistake in my speech there. The Republic of Peace is going to war with the Hafsid Sultanate, but I'm not going to join. I'm not in the ideal situation to do that, and due to exactly that, I'm just not going to join. Not wishing to do that, obviously. And now we're going to have, once again, 2 Muslim armies attack us. This time, 2 much weaker armies, based mainly around melee infantry and ranged troops. They're attacking us, they've got low-level generals, and we've got a pretty decent high ground apparently, so once again, we're going to fight this battle. Our cavalry advantage should win us today. We can, as we've seen before, absolutely wreck the enemy's infantry if we are in shield wall, or just able to hold our own without it. We're going to do the exact same thing as before. Just form up in a line, have our crossbowmen not that far behind, have our wealth cav on one side, our general in the center, and our knights on another side. And we're just going to hold this high ground position. I'm going to just form up shield wall, and the Muslim army is going to attack us without waiting, and with Ismail just sitting here doing nothing in particular. And apparently the battle's no longer in our favour. That's mainly due to the huge amount of reinforcements coming in. But our infantry is going to be able to hold, or at least if they are, we are going to be at actually quite a large advantage. We're going to move to the flank and see what the Muslims do. The enemy's moving in their forces from here. We're going to have to move to the side. And form up anew. We took quite a few casualties from that missile bombardment. But now that we're formed up, we should have somewhat of an advantage once again. Our formations probably a lot better than the ones the Muslims can use against us. And luckily it seems nothing's going to be attacking us from the other side. We're going to move our knights down. We're going to move our wealth cav to the other side. And prepare them to run down. The melee infantry of the enemy is just fully charging into one unit apparently. Our melee cavalry is going to just run fully around. With the enemy about to engage, we're not going to be waiting, we're going to be charging. Or at least in some places we are. And that charge should be somewhat devastating. Already you can see one unit on the verge of breaking there from that charge. Just showing exactly how powerful that cavalry charge was. We're going to be moving our 2 spear units now. Our infantry are holding pretty well. We're going to move all of our crossbowmen over here. And cavalry is now fully engaging the enemy's ranged troops. We're going to be attacking their general, and our general is going to be going around the flank. The Guelph Cav going to be moving over to this side now, or at least that one unit. We're going to have Guelph Cav charging into their flanks. Our frontal charge being superbly successful. Over there. We're now going to make a frontal attack in that area. And alongside that, we're going to have some Guelph Cav probably charge into the back of those units. Our knights all over the place, fighting the enemy. We really need our Guelph Cavs to begin breaking them. Our general in danger. And luckily some of the infantry of the enemy breaking on that side. On this side, loads and loads of breaking and shattering. We're going to keep on just running anywhere we can. Augusto now dies, sadly, but the Muslims have done that at the expense of most of their army in this situation. They have killed this general at the expense of our whole force, and Augusto's knights are still holding, morale-wise at least. Some of our Templars here begin to use morale. The rest of our units basically just doing fine. Our Templar sadly broke. Even they probably would have won that. Melee, now we're going to have to be moving our Guelph Cav around. Our frontline infantry still somehow holding. Our Guelph Cav trying to get out of there. Out of the enemy's infantry range. This army at this point too valuable to lose. And luckily it doesn't seem like we're going to be losing it. Our unit of Guelph Cav attacking those archers has also now broken. We're slowly losing troops, but the enemy has lost a lot more. The balance bar even. Losing loads of men. With every attack losing more right now. If the enemy general now died, their army would probably rout. We see some more cav routing. That was Augusto's guards, which not really guards anymore, just a extra cavalry unit. Our crossbowmen are going to get out of there. Our melee infantry are going to be replacing them. We're going to move up with that cavalry. We're going to keep on fighting. The enemy general there dies. Our remaining Templar knights is going to do what Templar knights do. The main chunk of the melee line is breaking for them. Our line still somewhat holding firm. Melee infantry constantly dying. The knights now freed as well. Guelph cavalry not doing that well right now. We're going to try and keep the fight going. Some more knights fleeing from the battlefield. Templars crashing down onto the enemy. Our infantry now running the enemy through. Our cavalry just steamrolling. And we've basically now won the battle. With some new archer units now going to join the battle. Now going in and joining the battle. Well, probably unable to do anything. The enemy's melee infantry at this point is gone, I believe. So doesn't really matter how many archers they have if they cannot defend them. Templar Knights still running through the enemy army as if it's none of their business, just wrecking into 3 units of archers there. No, Guelphcav just going to blast down the high ground. The Templars now just going to continue running them through. We're probably not going to get the majority of their army killed, but we're going to get a lot of them routed off the field. Ultimately, we're going to win this. And not really rightfully so, because this wasn't really our battle to win. Outnumbered, what was it, 3-1 there? Or nearly 3-1. Another heroic victory at the cost of our general. But no units lost. The city is basically open. It's going to, I believe it's going to simulate us taking the enemy down. 500 kills on some of those Guelphcav and the Templar Knight, which is once again shocking. A lot of the Muslim armies just torn open and massacred. We're going to take on captives in this situation. And this should be another weakening blow to the now starving Ayyubid Empire, which we and the Venetians and the African tribes have just pulled open. The expansion of our African domain is imminent. To replace Augusto, we're going to get this untested man, Corrado. Ismail, as you can see, taking 3 with him. And we're going to now try to attack Mesa Matruch. Once again, another huge victory for us. Another cutting a blow for the Ayyubids. As you can see, no armies currently. Alexandria, they might have a few armies over in Syria, but there is no chance that they could even get close to Alexandria. The heroes of the Caliphate, not heroes anymore. One of those larger armies retreating. We have gained a victory in that war. And I'll let you guys debate if that was a deserved victory as well. Grimaldo going boosting public order. In Rome, the Pope has an army for himself, and I forgot to get a treaty with the Republic of Pisa again, and maybe I can get it even after that. But definitely a great victory, nonetheless. Not the Ibid army that was there is now on the run. The Abbasids being pushed back. Seems like the Christian nations are going to get a foothold not only in Africa but in places such as Arabia. Noble birth right there. Urbano gains a bonus. He gets an extra rank. Some ancillaries doesn't really matter. The main thing that matters is first, can we get a new alliance with Pisa? And the answer is yes, we can. They're going to be liking us less now. We are insignificant, but we are dependable in our insignificance. We're going to storm the city and see what we can gain. This is going to be the second gain of this campaign. We are going to occupy it outright. We've got enough money to just rebuild the whole place, even the Jewish diaspora. And this means an increase in our Imperium. We can get an army under Gabriele going, and an army in Ico, this time under a man who is called Ezio. So we're getting Ezio in here, just because we don't want to be getting people who don't have integrity bonuses here. We're just going to get some spearmen for him. The Crusaders of the Eternal City are now basically a worthless force, but Ansaldo is a decent general nonetheless. He's going to be garrisoning this place, but without any of the expensive forces or knights. He's just going to have a normal army, or normal-esque, as normal as you can have. Some communal swordsmen, yada yada yada. We're going to get weak spots to get extra melee attack. Corrado is going to get an upgrade after that. Our armies are getting stronger by the day. Alexandria is in our grasp. And our African colony has expanded. So, what are we going to be able to do with these new gains? Will we be able to capitalize before the other great nations of Europe have a chance to take this land over? Will we be able to defeat more Ibid and maybe Abbasid armies in the future of similar strength and prowess? Will we be able to gain as great victories as we have so far? Well, you'll be finding that out in the next episode of the Masters of All Traders, or how I should have called this series, the Masters of the Sea Trade.